Working on the 46 Dodge front roll cage, and I've been working on this piece right here, and it's a compound angle and a bend in there, and it's sort of a tough one. And if we look down on the floor down here, you can see it took me a little while. I started with this white piece of paper, and then I made this one, which was the angle to the white piece of paper, but because it's compound bend it had to be more, and then I tried this one and that was too much. And so eventually I ended up with what's up here, which is sort of in between, and then I welded it on. And then, as you can see by the bolt holes here, that I'm off by about 1/4 of an inch because it sucked over when I welded it. So I'm going to take these down. Both of them did the exact same thing, so either I welded them both wrong or it's just my luck that they bent exactly 1/4 inch. I'm going to take them down and tie them to the tree down there and pull on them with a come along. Here I am stretching this thing between a couple trees, and the part started out at 30 1/4 inches, and I had to yank it all the way to about 30 1/16 in order to get it to go to 30 1/2. So yeah, it takes quite a bit to pull on it. Make sure you wear all your safety protection, like maybe a full suit of armor or something, just in case. Basically, I just try to find a nice place where I can hook my tape measure on and pick like the longest spot to one of these flanges. And did the same thing when I was doing the other part of the roll cage, where I went like tube to tube, and then I just keep overshooting it and letting it off and keep rechecking it until I get the number I want. And if you overshoot it, then you just have to pull it back. That's it. Okay, you can see that I put the bar back on. After stretching it, it was only off about a 32nd of an inch, and I took a grinder and a burr, and I ground out a couple of the holes, just a 32nd of an inch, and got them put back on. So now both of them are on there, and it's pretty strong. I lifted up one of the wheels and got it so the other wheel was hanging, and the frame twisted about a 1/2 inch, and then it went back down. But at least I was able to open and close the hood. So I have more support to put in, and I'll show you what else I'm doing to try to stiffen it up so it doesn't bend. So I'm making these extra supports, and what they're doing is they're connecting down underneath the front sway bar, and that's going to beef up what the bumper is connected to, and it's also going to help take some of the twist out of the frame, and I'll show you where that connects. Okay, you can see this tube right here. This is what I'm putting on, and before it was just hanging straight down, so if it got hit it would want to twist backwards. So I'm trying to get that force back up next to the cross member up there. Okay, you can see how I connected it with an L bracket, a piece of angle onto the frame, and I'm going to put 4 1/2 inch bolts through there, and I'm going to stick some solid steel into the frame and weld it on there, and then tap it so that way it's really connected on well to the frame. And I'm going to do that on both sides, and then I have these smaller bolts also which are holding the bumper on, so that should give me some good stiffness. And then I'm going to run probably a piece of 1 inch by 1/8 down across the radiator here, going to the lower end to this higher end, and make an X, and that should stiffen up the front end, so when I lift up one wheel it lifts the other wheel up, and then the hood doesn't twist. What you're looking at is up above, like where the visors would be, you know, on the headliner, and I'm trying to repair that part that I had to cut out in order to get the roll cage in, and that'll give me some stiffness side to side also. And then this is down on the dashboard. I'm putting that in, and also over here I have to get a piece of metal on the inside because there's about an 1/8 inch or the 1/4 inch gap over there from taking my cuts. So I have to weld all that in, and then that'll act like a cross member from side to side because I really don't have a cage cross member up high. And I'm going to connect that into the roll cage, and I'll show you the little pieces for that. So you see I welded the entire thing for all the way down the dashboard, and welded it inside, and that really stiffened it up. So these little pieces are gussets. They're going to go in on the roll cage and connect the roll cage into the dashboard, since that dashboard's like a cross member. And you can see how they're a little bit different. That's all the distance that's different from side to side on the roll cage. They only side about a 1/4 inch total, which I'm pretty happy about. So there's where that gusset goes, and I'll weld that all the way around, and that'll stiffen it up. So that'll be about the end of this weekend. So take it easy.